Have you ever felt an emptiness you can't explain, like something or someone is missing from your life? Maybe you've heard of connections that go beyond time, like a soulmate who feels destined for you, a soul companion who walks by your side with ease, or a twin flame that sets your heart ablaze. But what do these words really mean? Today, I'm going to reveal the secrets behind these mystical bonds, like I'm whispering an ancient truth just for you. Get ready, because this journey will stir your heart. Imagine you're staring into a mirror, but instead of your reflection, you see someone who feels what you feel, even if they're worlds away. That's how many describe a soulmate. It's not just love or passion. It's a connection that feels written in the stars. But is it that simple? Is this person really your perfect half? Or is there more to uncover? A soulmate is like an echo of your own essence. They say it's someone you share a spiritual contract with, made before you were even born. This person could be a lover, a friend, or even family. What defines them is that instant sense of recognition, like you've known them from another life. But heads up, it's not always a fairy tale. Sometimes they show up to teach you something painful. What if I told you not all deep connections are that intense? Enter the soul companion, a gentler but equally powerful presence. They're like a friend who walks into your life and suddenly everything clicks. There's no overwhelming spark, but there's comfort, support, and a harmony that feels effortless. Have you ever felt that with someone? A soul companion is your journey partner. Unlike a soulmate, they don't need to complete you, because you're already whole on your own. They show up to help you grow, to share laughs, tears, and lessons. It could be a romantic love, but often it's platonic, like a best friend who seems to read your mind. Now brace yourself for something fiercer. The twin flame is unlike anything you've heard before. It's like looking at your own reflection, but in a mirror that amplifies every emotion, every fear, every desire. They say a twin flame is your soul split in two, and when you meet, it's like a cosmic explosion. But are you ready for that? A twin flame isn't just a connection. It's a challenge. They come to shake you out of your comfort zone, to force you to face your shadows. It's not uncommon for these relationships to be rocky, with separations and reunions that feel orchestrated by fate. Have you ever been through a love that turned you inside out? Maybe that was them. So how do you tell these connections apart in your life? A soulmate brings that "I already know you" feeling, like time doesn't exist. A soul companion is the warm hug on a cold night, someone who makes you feel at home. And a twin flame, they're the fire that burns but also lights up your darkest corners. Think about this. Have you ever met someone whose touch made the world stop? That might be your soulmate, bringing a connection that feels fated. But don't be fooled. They're not always meant to stay. Sometimes they come into your life just to show you who you are, to guide you to the next step. And soul companions, they're more common than you think. Maybe it's that coworker who gets you without words, or a childhood friend who never judged you. These connections are like stars that shine softly, guiding you without blinding. How many have crossed your path? But a twin flame, that's rare. They say not everyone finds theirs in this lifetime. When it happens, it's like the universe conspires to bring you together, but also to test you. Have you ever felt an emptiness that only makes sense because of someone you're not even sure exists? Maybe your twin flame is out there, waiting for the right moment. Now let me ask you something. What are you looking for? A soulmate to complete you, a soul companion to support you, or a twin flame to transform you? Each has its purpose, and none is better than the others. But understanding the difference can change how you see your relationships. A soulmate is a mirror of your soul, but not necessarily your final destination. They could be a lesson, a love, or even a goodbye. A soul companion is an ally, someone who makes the journey lighter. And a twin flame, they're your greatest test, but also your greatest revelation. Imagine you're walking through a dark forest, and each of these connections is a different light. A soulmate is a flashlight guiding you for a while. A soul companion is the campfire warming you up. And a twin flame, they're the blaze that could burn everything down, but also light your path like never before. But be careful. Not all connections are what they seem. Sometimes we mistake intense passion for a twin flame or deep friendship for a soul companion. How do you know? Listen to your heart. It whispers the truth, even when your mind doubts. Have you heard that whisper? What if I told you all these connections are part of your growth? A soulmate teaches you about love. A soul companion teaches you about trust. Twin flame teaches you about yourself. Each leaves a mark, a piece in the puzzle of your soul. Now close your eyes for a second. Think of the person who stirred you the most. Was it an overwhelming love? A friendship that feels eternal? Or something you can't explain but changed everything? That person might be the key to understanding what kind of connection you have in your life. Here's the secret. You don't need to chase these connections. They find you when you're ready. A soulmate shows up to wake you up. A soul companion to walk with you. And a twin flame. They only come when you're ready to face the fire. So, my dear, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you look at your relationships with fresh eyes? Will you wait for that connection that hasn't arrived yet? Or will you just trust that the universe is guiding you, one bond at a time? Stick with me to the end, because here's the truth. Your soulmate, your soul companion, or your twin flame is already on your path. Maybe you've already met them. Maybe they're waiting. But one thing's for sure. When it happens, you'll feel it. And you'll never be the same. Have you ever felt a chill you can't explain, like someone somewhere is calling out to you? It's not just the wind or your imagination. It's something deeper, like the universe is weaving an invisible thread between you and another soul. But how do you know if it's real? How do you tell what's just desire from what's destiny? I'm going to take you deeper into this mystical web, where every step reveals a secret that could change everything. Listen closely, because what comes next isn't for just anyone. Imagine a moonless night, where the silence is so heavy you can hear your own heartbeat. Suddenly you feel a presence, not physical, but so real it stops you in your tracks. It's like your soulmate is whispering from another dimension. But what if they're not who you expect? What if they're someone you've already met, but didn't recognize? The universe loves to play with our senses. Soulmates have a trick. They show up when you least expect it. It could be a fleeting glance in a crowded cafe, or a conversation that feels like it lasts centuries. But here's the mystery. They don't always stay. Sometimes they cross your path just to spark something, leaving you with more questions than answers. Have you ever experienced something like that? Now think about a soul companion. They're different, more grounded, less starry. They're the person who makes you laugh when the world's falling apart, who holds you up without asking for anything in return. But what if they're hiding a bigger purpose? What if, behind that calm, there's a lesson you haven't grasped yet? Soul companions aren't always what they seem. And a twin flame. They're an enigma wrapped in fire. They say when you find them, time stops, but chaos begins. They're not just a reflection. They're a force that makes you face who you really are. Have you ever felt an emptiness that screams for someone you don't even know? Maybe they're closer than you think. But be careful. These connections can fool you. What feels like a twin flame might just be an overwhelming crush. What seems like a soul companion could be a fleeting friendship. How do you tell? Close your eyes and ask your heart. What does this person awaken in you? Is it peace, a storm, or something you can't name? Imagine you're at a crossroads with 3 paths ahead. One leads to a soulmate, another to a soul companion, and the third, the darkest, to a twin flame. Which do you choose? Or do you even have a choice, and fate's already mapped your route? The universe never plays without a reason, and every encounter has a purpose. Have you noticed how some people come into your life like lightning, changing everything in an instant? Others arrive like a breeze, so gentle you barely notice their importance until they're gone. Each leaves a mark, but only the true connections echo in your soul. Who was the last person who made you feel alive? Some say soulmates are rare, but I believe they're out there, hidden in glances and silences. The trick is staying aware. Think of that time you felt an unexplainable connection with a stranger. What if it wasn't random? What if the universe was aligning the stars just for you? Soul companions, on the other hand, are like anchors. They keep you steady when the storm hits. But what if that stability is an illusion? What if your soul companion is preparing you for something bigger, something you can't yet see? What would you do if you found out they're hiding a secret? And a twin flame? They're the greatest mystery of all. They say finding them is like opening a door to the unknown. It's not just love. It's transformation. But what if that transformation comes at a cost? Are you willing to pay it? Or would you rather stay in the safety of what you know? Think about this. What if all these connections are part of a bigger plan? What if every soulmate, every soul companion, every twin flame is a chapter in a story you're writing without realizing? Each shapes you, but none defines who you are. Or do they? Have you ever felt an emptiness you can't explain, like a part of you is lost? Maybe it's your twin flame calling from afar, or your soulmate waiting for you to recognize them. Or maybe a soul companion who hasn't crossed your path yet. What would you do if you knew where to look for them? Imagine you're holding a map, but it's written in a language you don't understand. Every connection in your life is a clue, a symbol bringing you closer to the truth. But the truth is slippery. The closer you get, the more questions arise. Have you felt that, haven't you? What if I told you the secret to finding these connections isn't in chasing them, but in preparing for them? A soulmate requires you to trust. A soul companion asks you to open your heart. A twin flame, they demand you surrender. Are you ready to surrender to the unknown? Think of the last time you felt a tightness in your chest, like something was trying to speak to you. Maybe it was one of these connections, knocking at your door. But what if you don't open it? What if fear stops you from discovering what's on the other side? What would you lose? There are moments when the universe whispers, and others when it shouts. Soulmates whisper, soul companions sing, but twin flames, they roar. Have you heard that roar? Or are you still waiting for the sound that will change everything? Imagine you're in a room full of mirrors, each showing a different version of you. In one you see a soulmate, in another, a soul companion, and in the last, a twin flame. Which mirror do you choose? Or is the trick not to choose, but to let them show you the way? What if the key to all this lies within you? What if these connections aren't people, but parts of your own soul, waiting for you to discover them? A soulmate is your reflection. A soul companion is your support. Twin flame is your fire. What if you're the flame you've been searching for? Now take a deep breath. Feel the weight of these words. Something's shifting, isn't it? Something inside you is waking up, like the universe is about to reveal the next step. But what's next? What's lurking around the next bend in your path? Do you feel the air getting heavier, like time itself is holding its breath? There's something hovering around you, an energy you can't see but can't ignore. It's like the veil between you and the unseen is thinner now, ready to reveal a secret that's always been within reach. But are you ready for what's coming? I'm going to guide you even deeper, where the shadows whisper truths your heart already knows. Listen, because every word is a key. Imagine you're in a dark hallway with locked doors on both sides. Each holds a memory, a person, a connection. But there's one door that glows, pulsing like it's alive. Is it your soulmate, waiting for you to find them? Or is it something more dangerous, something that could change everything you think you know about yourself? Soulmates have a way of tricking us. Sometimes they show up in disguise, like a stranger who makes you freeze in the middle of the street, with a look that seems to pierce your soul. But what if that connection isn't for this lifetime? What if it's an echo of something you left behind? Have you ever felt a déjà vu that made you question everything? Now think of a soul companion. They're like a melody playing softly, almost unnoticeable, but calming you effortlessly. But what if that melody hides a rhythm you haven't caught yet? What if your soul companion is guiding you toward a destination you can't even imagine? Who's the person who makes you feel lighter? A twin flame, on the other hand, is a drum echoing in your chest. It's impossible to ignore, even if you try. They pull you, challenge you, make you question every certainty. But what if they're not a person, but a mirror of your own power? Have you looked inside yourself with enough courage to see the fire? There are moments when the universe leaves clues, like breadcrumbs in an enchanted forest. A recurring dream, a phrase you overhear by chance, a name that won't leave your mind. Are you following those clues? Or is fear making you veer off the path? What would you find if you went all the way? Imagine you're holding an ancient box, covered in symbols you don't understand. Inside are answers about your connections, but opening it requires a sacrifice. What would you give to know the truth about your soulmate? Or to understand why your soul companion showed up now? And a twin flame. Is it worth the risk? Have you noticed how some people seem to carry an aura that draws you in, even without reason? It could be a soulmate, leaving a mark that defies explanation, or maybe a soul companion bringing balance. But what if it's a twin flame testing your strength? How do you know without losing yourself in the process? What if the secret to these connections isn't in them, but in you? What if a soulmate is the part of you craving love, a soul companion the part seeking peace, and a twin flame the part demanding truth? Have you ever thought you might be the one weaving these bonds like a spinner of fate? Think of a night when you couldn't sleep, your heart racing for no reason. Maybe it was your soulmate sending a signal from afar, or your soul companion, reminding you you're not alone. Or maybe a twin flame, challenging you to wake up to something bigger. What did you feel that night? Some say the universe writes our story in secret, but lets us choose the pages. Every person who enters your life is a sentence, a paragraph, a chapter. But who decides the ending? Is your soulmate the climax, or just the start of something more? Imagine you're on a swaying suspension bridge over a chasm. On the other side there's a light, but the path is unsteady. Each step is a choice. Trust in a soulmate, lean on a soul companion, or face the fire of a twin flame. What's your next step? Or are you already halfway across? What if the emptiness you sometimes feel isn't emptiness, but a space waiting to be filled? Not by another person, but by a truth you haven't yet accepted. A soulmate can show you love, a soul companion friendship, but a twin flame, they reveal who you are. Are you ready to see yourself? Have you ever felt a tug in your chest, like something's calling you far away? Maybe it's your soulmate, hiding around a corner of fate, or a soul companion waiting to teach you something new. But what if it's a twin flame, sparking a flame that won't go out? What would you do if they were just around the bend? Some connections feel magical, but others hurt. A soulmate can break your heart, a soul companion can let you down, and a twin flame, they can destroy everything you've built. But what if the pain is the key? What if it's what takes you to the next level? Imagine you're holding a lantern in a dark cave. The light flickers, but it shows you fragments of a bigger picture. Every connection in your life is a piece of that picture. But what happens when you put them all together? Are you ready to see the full image? What if the universe is testing you right now? Every person who enters your life, every feeling that hits you, is a trial. A soulmate tests your heart, a soul companion your loyalty, a twin flame your courage. How are you doing so far? Or is the real test still to come? Think of the last time you felt a connection so strong it scared you. Was it a look, a word, a touch? Maybe it was a soulmate, maybe a soul companion, or maybe a twin flame in disguise. But why did it scare you? What was in that moment that still haunts you? Some say spiritual connections are like constellations. You only see them when you look at the sky at the right time. Your soulmate, soul companion, and twin flame are out there, shining, but you need the darkness to find them. Are you willing to face the night? Now feel the silence around you. Something stirring in the shadows, something you can't see but can feel. It's a promise, a threat, or maybe a revelation. Whatever it is, it's closer than you think. And when it arrives, will you be ready to open the door? My dear, the darkness whispers truths only you can hear. And today I've shared secrets that echo in your soul. Thank you for diving into this mystery with me, for letting your heart pulse with every word. But the journey doesn't end here. Join us, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so no revelation passes you by. Feel the call, be part of this community where shadows reveal light. Confirm you received this message by saying, "I heard the whisper of my soul." I'll be waiting for you at the next truth.